Our academic and applied esports program provides our competitive gamers a national stage to compete with other Division I universities. Our academic objective allows us to use esports to foster innovative, interdisciplinary connections.
Esports right now is an ever-expanding career field, and having the opportunity to showcase its many facets through education is really inspiring.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
and you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here, we do.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Lord Thethan, as before, and I'm joined by a new face in the booth. Actually, for me, it'll be Zohan bringing all the storylines for you guys in this next matchup. It's going to be William and Mary versus DePaul for the second of 4 series this afternoon.
Yeah, indeed. And, coming into this, William and Mary, such a strong team, over 10 wins in this league already. And DePaul, kind of struggling. And also today can't be highlighted enough. They actually have a substitute coming in for one of their players. And, that if they don't mesh well, it's hard to find that mesh. And so I'm a bit nervous for them as we're jumping in to DePaul. I was going to call you Lord, not Lord the Van. I was just going to call you Lord. But, coming into this, I'm a bit nervous for DePaul, but I do like the comp that they're coming out. I'm not necessarily an Ana fan with double shield, but it's one of those. Okay, I like this a lot more. they heard me and now they switched it.
The bat brig on DePaul.
I do like this a lot more for them. And against this ball comp, this Torb, Brig Bap can actually shut it down pretty well.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure that you're going to get out of DePaul's formation. They're a little bit late to coming up to this high ground position that you would normally want to control with this double shield lineup. Already, Max goes in for a pile drive, gets quite a bit of adaptive shields off that. That's a lot of sustain, but look at that turret. It's eating away at their health pool. Meanwhile, the shield war is still going on. William and Mary looking to stay sustained in this position with only a 6 shield. That's a nice kinetic grasp there, and you're going to see Max rolling back in, but you got to dispatch that turret. That's a lot of damage to control this high ground. There's the pile drive to eliminate it, as well as Unik's opportunity to really move it. Unique, there we go.
Yeah, I feel Obscure was not looking too much for Max for the win there. I feel Max was able to get a lot of space. That pile drive was huge. Adept shields were ready. Obscure was able to get the stun there at the end, but if it was earlier, if there was the whip shot into a bash, maybe they could have cleared up Max. Sadly, Zeph went down first, and now William and Mary are getting points on the board.
Yeah, they take early control of that objective. It's a favorable position to be in, but now that high ground position, again, it finds itself under contest here. DePaul erecting the Implication Matrix to make this a swingable fight. Rage Knight possibly looking to push him with a flanking Molten Core. Yeah, there we go. The splooge is out, and it connects to a shield, but also to a couple of meaningful targets. Tangerine and Obscure both go down. That's a decisive win here for William and Mary.
Yeah, that it was. And honestly, though, I'll say that it's a pretty clean win. I mean, Rashanet used that Molten Core there, but only Ant Matrix was used for DePaul. So there's definitely a little bit more. And Obscure is closer to that rally. If they can get rally off first, try to get Nuklama off the board, then that sustain for the side of DePaul can really outcome them. And I really like the position they're going in.
An early turret will give Robot One Trick a little bit more ult charge to allow them to Molten Core on the objective. There's the Pulse Bomb deployed from Unique, getting next to the Immortality Field and to themselves. They're going to be down, but William and Mary is not done quite yet. Max slinging themselves right above the objective. It's going to be Obscure's Rally Armor that keeps William and Mary sustained in this position, as well as that double barrier. But a roll through is going to give Max a little bit of ult charge and a lot of adaptive shields. They're still contesting this objective, but by this time, DePaul has already captured this point. I think it's time for William and Mary to reset.
Yeah, no, indeed. And I really liked how DePaul played that there. They really wanted to stay together. They wanted to make sure Mischievous and Obscure got the damage off, but this rally from Nuklama can really bring it back into them easily.
Ooh, watch out though, nothing like a supercharger to cleave through that rally armor. It's not going to stay long, positioned right behind that barrier, and as well as Zeph themselves. It's all going to be going down to Rage and I. There's a Gravitic Flux committed as well from Tangerine, looking to win out this fight, or at least stall out objective progress, or the take rather from William and Mary, who, well, do take this objective.
Yeah, Zeph's bongo there was not very placed well. It was right in front of an ulting Brig, and with the rest of the healing, with the rest of the team right behind them, there was just no way that bongo was going to live for not long. And Unique coming in with this flank could be getting the Baptiste, could be getting someone. It is going for the Sigma, but as we're in overtime, it's going to be close.
And find themselves maybe pressured out by that turret. Looks for a contest against Obscure's Brigida, who is coming up close on another rally. All that DePaul University needs to do is live here on the objective. They do get the objective capture, and Obscure is so close to that rally armor in the presence of the Molten Core, it won't be able to mitigate much. Ooh, there's Noob with a nice crit shot there onto Rage and That's going to disrupt the solution of Torbjorn there from falling off the objective. The rally armor does come out as the Molten Core dissipates here on the objective. DePaul University is coming up on top of a few critical eliminations, but they haven't cleaned up the fight quite yet. Nice balk there from Obscure is going to make sure the team stays sustained in the latter stages of this fight. But watch out, Robot One Trick plants the turret, ends up going down the process. Unique's able to dispatch that quite quickly, and a rally from Nuke Llama means that this is very winnable here for William and Mary. Look at that, the picks rolling in, and the objective will find another capture, the last team fight of this round.
Yeah, that was very nice positioning from Nuke Llama. They walked in, almost got booped off the map. It was super close. They were looking at Obscure, and they saw, I think Obscure was waiting for the whip shot, backed up out of there, popped the rally, was able to win the fight off of that. But I can't help but once again commend Obscure. Amazing play in this round. Great ult usage, great whip shots, constantly getting that rally healing up, not rally healing, excuse me, Inspire. Ability names, you don't ever use them when you're playing, and then you cast and you have to use them.
Yeah, it took me a while.
It just gets so confusing.
It took me a while to learn that Symmetra's wall is called Photon Barrier. Who says that?
I don't think I've ever heard it called that ever in my life. But I do like this comp switch from DePaul University now. I love Mei Sim a lot more, and especially with the Unique on this Pharah. If they're not able to do damage now, which, oh, they are, excuse me.
Yeah, Mischievous, I think, had already used the Immortality Field just out cross distance. It's not going to save Robot One Trick. They're going to go down the first bloodshed over, or rather just before the objective. And now Unique is going to have a fun time raining damage in above the objective. A little bit of contest there from Tangerine. It is, partially on that Diva to help dispatch the far. There's another Immortality Field. That actually might be the first one here that Mischievous deployed. It saves them, but only for a brief period of time. You finally see some picks rolling in for William and Mary. Now they just got to capture this point.
Yeah, that was a great slam from Max, which allowed Unique to get so much damage in, and allowed William and Mary the time to contest point. It didn't allow DePaul to set up turrets to allow for a Mei wall. And so, and without that, they're not going to be able to do anything against this composition of William and Mary. And especially even that Torb, like, we can't deny that Torb can put so much damage out for Machinette. And so I like this Ash switch, but a huge slam again, and
that's quite the combo, Zohan. There wasn't even a team fight there to talk about. You mentioned the slams, and I think Zohan, what Max is also getting out of those pile drives is some really good adaptive shielding.
Oh no, definitely. I apologize. I ate a bowl of udon by accident. No, Max is getting a lot of sustain because DePaul, as they switch to the zombie comp, which may work out a little more, but once again, you have to remember the ball comp is what counters this Neo Goats if you play it well. And already, already players are going down, but it's a trade-off now.
Yeah, there are picks on both sides, and now Max is going to want to use the minefield to contest the objective. There's your point presence in a more poke-based composition. It's Rival with some nice kinetic grasp HP to keep them sustained to the objective, but they might not have to sustain for long here. Picks already coming out in favor of William and Mary. Rather not coming out, closing out this fight.
Yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, just Max playing so well on this ball. Yeah. I don't think people understand how hard this composition is to do well unless you play it. And Max and
You want to eat your words now instead of the Udon?
I caster cursed it there. Yeah. Max, you were my MVP right now, and you have definitely lowered it.
Well, hey, that's okay. Rival's here to pick up the slack with a gravitic flux. The point ends up captured by DePaul, but a capture isn't progress. That's going to be accrued here by William and Mary as soon as they're able to retake this objective. 96% building. You're not going to see a really good opportunity here for DePaul to touch, but the Tracer could have, but I guess didn't have the blinks to connect to the objective soon enough. That's William and Mary coming out on map 1.
Yeah, absolute domination especially from Max, especially from Unique on that second point. On that first map, it was definitely more of a team effort. Nuke Llama was doing a lot there. And of course, Rashinet with the 17 million Molten Core kills.
Yeah, as well as the minefield there in the corner. You got to see a little snippet of it as well. There was an environmental elimination there for Rival of William and Mary, and it's always fun to see people displaced by your hyperspheres or the junk spam, the Zarya right clickies. I've fallen off many a ledge to just the little CC that those abilities do.
Yeah, it's just there's just a lot that William and Mary are putting out that it's very hard to deal with if you don't have the exact coordination to counter it, especially Max on that. I'm just going to keep mentioning Max on that ball because they just don't have an answer for her right now, and that is what is putting them behind in this game, and what puts them behind in this series is just the slams, as you said, the adaptive shields that allow for such sustain in this game, and also just the timing. Like, you could be the best wrecking ball in the world, and if you don't get the exact timing in there to allow your team to follow up on those kills, it doesn't matter in the end. But the timing of Max that allows Unique to get some shots in as Farah, or the slam that allowed that barrage that was not a team fight because you had about 2 seconds to say everything.
Yep.
There's just you have to deal with Max first before you can deal with the rest of the team.
Yeah, very difficult to move in whenever you're getting all booped and bonked around. Perhaps the next match or the next map rather, is gonna maybe help DePaul find out how to compartmentalize some of these fights. You mentioned that you have to focus Max first, but honestly, if Max is rolling through you with 2,000 HP, then you're gonna have a hard time really committing resources into that. Taking to the streets of Kings Row, you can still definitely see the wrecking ball come in here from William and Mary. But at least DePaul University might have a little bit easier of a time really finding out what that win condition is in the narrows of Kings Row.
Yeah, and I like this switch though at the end that William and Mary seem to be going over to the Reinhardt, going over to the Diva. And this is a really nice composition. This is exactly what you want to see on Kings Row. You want to have the Mei and you want to have the Cassidy for that stun. DePaul going for May Reaper, which it's a little bit like, it works well. Like, if Robot Trick can get a lot of damage in, it works out very well for them. But there's no stun, there's no additional long range output that Rashinet will be able to put in. But I think William and Mary might be going for that Wrecking Ball on attack. Attack works very well with this Wrecking Ball, but on defense, the Reinhardt just going in for it all should be going out very well for them.
Love to see the depth of Maxwell's tank hero pool really manifest here in Kings Row. It's kind of a close hold on the stat sheet here. Got to outplay those Mei walls from Nude, but so far no Mei walls have come up from really either side. There's an opportunity to do so there. Unique splitting off the forces of DePaul University as they go on an attack. There's the freeze as well. Immortality field expended, which means the sustenance in this particular position, right? Because DePaul isn't playing on the objective. But the sustenance in that position, it's just not there. DePaul's gonna be forced back through the choke.
Yeah, and this is kind of where Reaper does not work out well for them. It doesn't allow for teleportation. Like, you know, Robot Trick can teleport away. Ant Matrix coming out though, and oh, I don't know how this is gonna go for DePaul.
Well, definitely Rival didn't want any Fire Strike eliminations on the side of William and Mary. There was a really lightning quick response time on that Defense Matrix. And talking about Defense Matrix, there's Tangerine with the eat on the Blizzard of Unique. It definitely feels a little bit bad for William and Mary Unique fans.
Yeah, but the point is still fine. I'm not gonna be too worried there for them. No ults though, so it's gonna be a neutral fight. Well, as Newbie does get the Blizzard now. Yeah, it's all up to this next fight. If they can win this here with this Deadeye though, they have to take the point now, or else they have to build ults again.
More zoning than anything else here for William and Mary, but they've got plenty more resources to work with. Rival with an eat on the Blizzard from DePaul. Feels bad for all our new fans out there. There's a sound barrier dropping. It's going to help mitigate some of the damage done onto Max in the midst of a pin. Death Blossom coming through, and you know, Rival was really nowhere to be found for that. Max will go down to oppressive damage dished out by DePaul University, and now they might be able to actually get this objective. Gonna have to fight through a self-destruct here first, claiming 2. Obscure and Zeph all go down, but things are not lost here for DePaul as they continue to invest resources such as the Ant Matrix and the self-destruct.
Yeah,
Commitments on both
I
sides.
don't know how I feel about this right now. I mean, it's working out. Rashanet did just get one, but the Shatter coming out is going to be the cleanup, and they used 3 ults while they were down players. I just want to clarify that again. Unique threw the Blizzard at 2 HP.
Oh, okay. That's some risk taking right there.
That was very risky, and you had Tangerine right there looking at them, and I think actually Tangerine might have actually got the finishing blow there. So a little bit of a wasted fight, I think. Now we're going into the Streets phase with DePaul actually having kind of a better ult economy, but Unique in that first pick.
Yeah, a better ult economy, but not a better man advantage here, favoring heavily William and Mary as they push forth onto the objective. This is a meaningful fight for them. It means that they get to control the pace of the tempo of these fights a little bit easier, especially from an advantageous position like this choke.
Yeah, and now this is what DePaul wants, what William and Mary want. This is how the fight can go. And now that, once again, I'm gonna bring it back. Robot Trick not gonna be able to teleport them. This is basically the only rotation they can get around the team, and so it's all up to this neutral fight here.
That's a really nice rush. Yeah, Rival wasn't able to eat that Blizzard either. It's going to be Rage Knight expending the Deadeye in the previous fight. Means that they don't have one here, but there's a lot of defensive resources on the side of DePaul as they continue to push off the back of a couple of eliminations. Things aren't over here yet for William and Mary. If you get a reconnection to their tanks, then they can retake.
Yeah, but now... also, as I was saying, DePaul now has a great ult economy. They have ults online that William and Mary are close to, but they haven't had them yet. If they can use them early. Excuse me, Shatter coming in though.
Yeah, and Robot One Trick almost looked like they wanted to use the Blossom. That might have been the moment to do it as well because they go for it, but by that time, Tangerine has already gotten back up off the floor after getting knocked down by the Shatter and used the Defense Matrix to just eat most of that ult. It's going to be picks coming out here in favor of William and Mary, and Max might want to use the Shatter, but really doesn't need to. The fight is already resolved.
And that's what the difference between a very high level tank and a tank that it can be good but might not understand the complexities is Max is holding on to ults when you don't need them, and William and Mary as a whole, besides that first fight, the first fight to retake point, they've been holding on to ults well, and now with this Deadeye, the shield is going to be gone for DePaul.
Yeah, and there's the Shatter now without the shield, but the Sound Barrier is able to keep DePaul University alive in this fight just a little bit longer. Rival armed with the self-destruct might be looking for a cast, but has to make sure that they're not frozen in the process. Look at the damage that the D.Va mech is sustaining. They pop the self-destruct just in order to remech. It's going to connect to the barrier, which has regenerated here for Zeph. Means that there's an opportunity to push, but watch out. Robot One Trick has gone down to a brain freeze through an Amp Matrix. That is not the way you want to go. Sounds pretty painful to me. Mischievous is armed with their own Baptiste utility here to swing this fight, but it doesn't look doable here for DePaul as you get the tanks to reconnect. They're still going to commit the Blizzard and a counter Blizzard here as well from Unique. Both sides are investing so much just to control this little section of street space.
Yeah, and I would love to highlight our observer there. Watching Unique walling off some of the DePaul members on that street space, freezing Mischievous. Just incredible play from Unique and just an absolute domination on the streets phase after what looked to be a very equal first point, and now it's final fight territory. And honestly, DePaul has an Amp Matrix, and that might not be enough to really turn it over for them.
Maybe not. Hoping to get that self-destruct here, but you got to make sure you don't lose that mech first. There's the Deadeye, but the barrier is going to wear thin here for Maxwell standing in front of it. There's the teleport as well from Robot One Trick onto the high ground, looking for the opening. A chance to strike, but it's going to find Contest and Rival. Wall coming up, doesn't split off anyone from William and Mary. They're still looking strong in this fight, looking to hold here on King's Row and claim that second map, or at least this second point on the first round. But it's Tangerine self-destruct, making this swingable for DePaul as picks continue to roll through. There's the Shadow to compensate for a man disadvantage. William and Mary and Maxwell all coming through here, and they're still holding on to this objective. A couple of picks from the critical members of this squad, like the tank and the DP, the support here. As Nuke Llama drops the sound barrier, it is going to be emulated on the other side. Does manage to connect. You didn't see it get Ajax there, and you've still got a self-destruct to work with from Rival in case you need to clear this objective of its attackers. Right now, it's just a stall fest. Immortality field deployed on the objective. DePaul, you looking to stay in this fight, but they have to stay on the cart.
Oh no. Oh no, that was a total, I don't think there was even a boop there that caused it to come back. I think that was just the team was trying to rotate their players off of point, trying to get as much healing as they can. And sadly, DePaul, I don't want to call it a Charlie Niner, but that was just, I think, a miscall of where Tangerine and Obscure were supposed to be onto point. In a sad and heartbreaking way to end their attack phase. But they did bring it close. And you know, I really enjoyed how a lot of these players were playing. Newbie doing great work. Obscure once again just popping off as their main support. And now a similar composition. I kind of wish they maybe switched off of Reaper. I don't think the Reaper was getting the value that they needed. And that's not to say Robot Trick was the issue. Robot Trick is doing great. I just think the Reaper in this situation doesn't allow for rotations, doesn't allow, you know, for a stun. It's a very selfish hero in this team composition. And it doesn't, and especially on defense against how aggressive, how well William and Mary are playing, I just don't know if the Reaper is the play here.
You know, on a hero where kind of the name of the game is closing the distance there, it can be difficult to do so when you've got Rachonite on the Cole Cassidy. You mentioned a stun as well that they can use to thwart any plays Robot One Trick looks to make here. We'll see how quickly William and Mary are able to take this first objective. It's definitely a fast rotation through Hotel, and then kind of a rendezvous back into the choke here. We'll have to see if we can get a Blizzard here for first point. The wall already comes up from DePaul University, and right now it's just kind of a standstill on both sides. William and Mary biding their time and looking for the opportunity to push, and here it is. Watch out, Amp Matrices are going to come up really quickly on either side. There's the wall to buy us a little bit of time here for William and Mary. Wall coming up, forcing the Immortality field, and all Maxwell can do is hold that barrier, but they're under so much pressure damage. There's the Reaper coming through. Oppressive frontline pressure applied onto the main tank for William and Mary will shut down this push.
I don't think Unique was using the Maywall there to try to push back the rest of the team. I think that was trying to cut off Zeph, but it just didn't work out well. And then the return wall from Newbie cutting off Max, forcing the Immortality field. And then that's where Robot Trick does well against, you know, no armor. Reinhardt is just going to go down instantly to a Reaper.
Well, there's the Reaper now, engaging 1v1 against Unique, ends up bailing and opening up Hotel for Unique to operate in. Throws in the Blizzard as well. Oh, it actually did land. It didn't get canceled, and it will claim an assist onto Zeph there. Without the main tank here, the defense for DePaul will suffer just a little bit, but it doesn't look like William and Mary are looking to push this quite yet. They've got a couple of resources, but you want to draw out what DePaul's got first. Without the Rhine, though, you're free to shatter, and that's Max picking up 2 final blows off of those stuns, as well as Nuklama coming in with a little bit of Lucio action there. In the back lines, Robo one trick with a dual kill on the Death Blossom. Makes things so winnable here for DePaul University. They gave up a tick, but you lose the battle and win the war here.
Yeah, I definitely caster cursed the Reaper there. I 100% caster cursed it there. I was like, it's not gonna be doing too much. It's not. It doesn't allow for some things, and then getting a 3K, getting a 2K. But now going into this next fight, now there's going to be a lot of ults for William and Mary to allow for a lot of sustain, to allow for space making. And this is where Robot Trick might be struggling unless they get a kill of this backline.
Not really a kill, but some decent damage done against Rival there in the presence of a Deadeye. You see the Blizzard thrown out from the defense. DePaul University looking to use whatever resources they got since they had expended both of their tank ults in the previous fight. Rival engaged on the high ground in a 1v1 against Robot One Trick, has to bail out, but they have the self-destruct. Will we see a cast this fight as the Sound Barrier drops? It will help to mitigate some of those final blows, but not onto Obscure. They were too close to the self-destruct radius there, and now William and Mary are free to push this objective. With a freeze on to Tangerine, you're clear to use the Blizzard, but Unique is going to wait just a little bit to cast it. Make sure they're not 2 HP this time before they do so. Still looking for that freeze on Tangerine, but by now, picks are going on both sides. It has to be swung here for William and Mary. Coming up on a minute remaining in the bank, and you do get the freeze off, but Noob is picking up final blow after final blow. Things going both ways here, but the attacker's advantage might favor William and Mary as they stay on this point.
This is absolutely insane. I don't... This is so hard to break down. Just each player getting a pop-off. Each player trying to do so much, but the shatter... Oh, not good.
Elicits the immortality field there, but Max is back on the field, back on the front lines, and looking to only swing the hammer. No, don't proc up the barrier. Go aggressive. Push into the streets of Kings Row. You've gotten that first point capture, Max. Be free.
Yeah, that was some blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull's throne moment. Only like 5 people are gonna get that reference, but hey. Actually, I have to admit, that was definitely a fight. That was definitely a fight win. Hey, I'm gonna bring Warhammer 40k jokes into this. That was definitely a fight win because of spawn advantage. And now this is gonna be a situation where William and Mary have to push this as far as they can, or DePaul will have, you know, quite a nice advantage in terms of, you know, economy and in terms of spawn advantage. Oh my
nice. God. Yeah, that's a beautiful fire strike, and you saw it previously in that fight. Max and Alondri had the timing right on their own Amp Matrix fire strike combo, but it just didn't connect to anything. Nice to see Zeph get a little time in the sun.
Yeah, great play by Zeph. And I'm highlighting Max a lot. Zeph is not doing a poor job. It's just Max is just doing incredible work, and they have the team that helps. They have the team that helps them push so much. As this Blizzard comes out, though,
as well as the Death Blossom, and I think the Shatter from Zeph as well. That's a pretty hefty commitment here from DePaul. But you know, if it means that they get to continue defending for a little longer, then I'd say it's worth it. Ultimately, you look at these ultimate economies, though, Zohan, and it's looking pretty advantageous from the position of William and Mary.
Yeah, DePaul definitely used a lot of ults to win that fight. And if they're able to force a bunch of ults in this next fight and then come back at the end of Street Space, they may be able to bring it back. And it's going to be final fight territory if they do so. But they have to force ults here now in order to do that.
A pretty juicy fire strike there, but Max already has the Shatter. There's the Blizzard to start things off first. Sound Barrier is responsive from Obscure. There's a self-destruct and a clutch block, and then a clutch Shatter. And does Zeph get eliminated? Yes, they do, and quickly following is the rest of the DePaul squads. The Amp Matrices come up. Got to be careful about playing that mirror dimension, but at least you got a Diva Defense Matrix to work with, as well as some peel against Robot One Trick, looking to thwart the back lines of William and Mary, who will continue to push strong on this card.
Yeah. That was absolutely beautiful. And now 30 seconds left on the clock. There's no ults for DePaul, and there's quite a few zoning ults for the side of William and Mary, Lord of the Van. This is looking amazing for William and Mary, who hope to take this to series point.
Yeah, definitely. It's a convenient position to be in here. It's an early Deadeye here as well, coming up by William and Mary. It's going to zone out, like you had mentioned, DePaul University. It connects to a barrier, but it didn't do quite enough damage onto that shield. This is an opportunity here to capitalize on for DePaul. Cryoform already forced out of Noob, who had gone critically low, and you still have a self-destruct here from Rival, but no Immortality Field on the side of DePaul University. Is it winnable off the back of a Shatter? It absolutely is here for William and Mary. They want to push forward, but you've got to secure these eliminations and not get frozen in the process. A late lamp, however, and once again, William and Mary aren't able to stay on it. Oh, no.
DePaul weren't able to stay on.
I'm sorry, DePaul. DePaul wasn't able to stay on.
Yeah, you know, William and Mary going up to 2-0 now. What an absolute display of teamwork. I think that's the thing I should really mention is DePaul has great individual players. They have great individual moments. Obviously, once again, just so people remember, they have a substitution in for, I believe, Mist is actually not Mist. And so I'm not going to really like say, hey, Mist is messing up here. Like it is a substitution. They're doing as great as they can. But you know, in this game, you have to have that teamwork, and that's what William and Mary have, and it shows in the scoreline.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really loving the tank gameplay from Maxwell, but you know, to play Reinhardt, you need a team behind you. We'll see if DePaul can get their team lined up properly to maybe start getting a reverse sweep of the series, or you know, just take one map off of their opponents here after a short break. Welcome back, everyone, and once again, it's a short break all the time that William and Mary need to format their next attack, and you know, this is playing out very similarly to the series that we got to watch before with Siena College and Marist University. I gotta ask, Sohan, do you anticipate the winds of change to sweep through the courtyards of Hanamura here?
That was beautifully constructed. If it was only a haiku, then I would have just applauded you, and I would just drop the broadcast. It would have been too. I couldn't follow up after that.
Sohan has left the building.
I love Robot to One Trick finally switching to that Symmetra play, and this is what I wanted from DePaul on King's Row, and this is what I hope will turn the tides for them as they go for the TP.
Oh, it got kind of knocked out of the choke there. It's precious time knocked off of DePaul's attack here, but it looks like some of them will be able to make it through. And when I say some of them, it's actually only the DPS playing in the backlines now of William and Mary, who are just ignoring them, pushing forward and wiping the streets clean of the menace that DePaul would represent. In the meantime, in the confusion rather, Robot One Trick was late to connect to the objective. That was a tick you could have accrued, and ultimately didn't.
Yeah, definitely maybe a bit of missed timing. I think they were really trying to get Rival there. But yeah, as you said, they could have got a tick off and also just but I want to highlight how well William and Mary played that. They saw the TP, they saw the Symmetra, and they went, okay, we're not going to stop. We are going to go in. You are not going to get your TP off. And it worked out brilliantly for them.
Oh man, and look at how aggressive William and Mary are wanting to play right now. Alondri armed with the Amplification Matrix and just waiting on the timing to use it. They've already used the Immortality Field, but hey, that's just one of many tools in Baptiste's kit. And Rage and I call it Providence or just really good timing from both them and Max, as you get so many Amplification Matrix assists on the side of William and Mary.
Yeah, this is just really beautiful play. And it's different than what we saw from them on King's Road. They're playing far more aggressively. They are pushing into the choke to finish these kills. And a beautiful, beautiful stall onto Tangerine. Heartbreaking for Tangerine. I'm not going to say that I'm supporting William and Mary. I'm not. But, you know, that is what you want to do in these situations. And 2 minutes on the clock, and we should highlight William and Mary have a beautiful ult economy. A beautiful ult economy. Compared, DePaul's not that far behind. We shouldn't say that, but you know, a Blizzard and an Ant Matrix against a Shatter from Max. It's gonna be a rough one.
Ooh, teleporting right into the maw here. It's gonna be a high noon. Oh, the wall lifted them into the skies, and with it they find 3 final blows with a Deadeye and clean up this fight. Wow.
I apologize for my audible gasp on it. Okay. Wow, beautiful. Max trying to, as we're gonna be seeing this replay here, beautiful play. That was just absolutely incredible. They thought they had enough time to rotate, but they were trying to play into that corner and fight still. But the Maywall, absolutely amazing play there.
I mean, oh, look at that Shatter coming from Zeph. The sound barrier was timely though from Nuklama. No eliminations off of that Shatter, and now a Blizzard to help William and Mary clean up this fight. That was a Blizzard and a self-destruct cast on the side of DePaul as well, but to no avail. The defenders are still holding strong. Going back to the Maywall, just to get a whippy one-liner, I gotta say, boosting in Overwatch is generally not very favorable. But hey, if you're boosting your cast up to the high ground, up to a good angle, I guess it's much more acceptable.
Jeez, man. Jeez.
I had to get it out.
Okay, I will say, coming into this next fight, Ant Matrix and the sound barrier are going to be huge ults, but the Shatter.
Yeah, but the freeze on the Max will help slow down the onslaught that we've been seeing from William and Mary, never hesitating to push forward past this choke. Normally, you wouldn't want to see your Reinhardt do that, but the rest of William and Mary, they say that's part of the win condition. We just have to enable Max on the main tank here.
Yeah, this is just absolutely incredible play from William and Mary, trying to bait out ults, but also playing it safely enough where they're not going down to any of these coming in and final fight territory, and they can barely even touch. They don't even touch.
They don't get to. No, and even if they had, there was no fight to be had there, Zohan.
Yeah.
You know what's amazing to me is that the Cole Cassidy player for William and Mary got to hold that Deadeye for as long as they did. That's kind of nutty.
Yeah, and just great play from Nuklama to really speed boost them back, to stay on speed too. I mean, unless people play Lucio in a team comp like this, I don't think they understand that you don't really want to switch over to healing that much. You want to switch over to healing if you're going to be getting a lot of value out of it, if you get a lot of ult charge from it. Mm-hmm. But the discipline to stay on that speed boost, the discipline to stay it and allowing your team to back up and allow a Laundry to do all of the healing that she can do. Just absolutely incredible play. I really hope they don't actually play this. This is just too memey.
I love it. I'm all for the Bastion hero. He's my favorite. Special move, honestly, one of the best in the game, and he comes equipped with this massive minigun that can just shred through anyone if you're sitting at the right angle. I don't think that we will see William and Mary opt for this composition, but we can dream. We can dream, so okay.
We have Max and a Hog and a Dream. I'm waiting to see what they actually switch to before it. Maybe the Neo Goats comp. Oh, they're not. Are they not switching? They're playing it. They're playing it.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, they're doing the Hog. Yeah, never mind. They're gonna be switching. Now they're gonna be playing seriously. Mirror comps though. Mirror comps though. I have to admit that. So it all depends how. Honestly, I'm going to be looking at Newbie and Rashanet to see who can get the better flashbang.
Well, you know, at this point, DePaul University, they need a full hold just to draw and prolong what's possibly the inevitable. But look, there's not much to hold against. Maxwell already surging forward. There's an aggressive immortality field to let them free swing a little bit more. Eat on the fire strike as well from Rival that was cast by Zeph means that ultimate charge definitely favors the Reinhardt for William and Mary. Now cooped up in this corridor, the Maywall comes up, buying off a little bit more time. I really like the ingenuity of these Maywalls, but Noob is already picking up a couple of final blows. That's 2 down and more to follow here on the side of William and Mary, canceling their attack.
And I just want to highlight here, Noob was able to build that Deadeye in record. It's not record speed, but what feels like record speed. And look at Rashanet. You know, Rashanet at 41%, and with Unique and Robot One Trick at similar ult charges for that Blizzard, and Zeph on that Shatter. This could be a win condition. This could allow them to win another fight and maybe take this to a draw.
Ooh, that was a nice wall placement from Robot One Trick, and oh, they walk right into a Shatter. William and Mary goes or falls to their knees there. The Immortality Field is forced out of the hand of Alondri, and I think now they just want to wait for Rachel Knight to respawn.
Yeah, this is actually a really good play. I like this a lot. It allows William and Mary to not give ult charge to DePaul, but DePaul was able to bring this out with only a couple ults, and ults that are pretty easily buildable. Like, they can definitely get these back. 2 minutes left though, and it's still looking okay though for William and Mary.
There's a Deadeye from Noob, and I think the Blizzard that Robot One Trick had just cast connected to a wall. That means that that there's no freeze, there's no group CC to be found here, and not really even much zoning. William and Mary are already in the position that they want to play, and they haven't been forced anywhere. They're taking matches on or fights on their terms. There's a Unique armed with the Blizzard as well. All you gotta do is get that freeze on the Diva, but you get shattered in the process. There's the counter shatter from Max, looking to swing this fight, but they're pushed out of the Immortality Field, quickly dispatched, and Zeph is now the one with time in the sun here.
Zeph probably was watching our broadcast, hearing us talk about Max, and was like, you know what? I'm better than that. I can do that. What's the, you know, the vine that's like, I do that. This is actually what Zeph is doing right now. Absolutely incredible performance. In 1 minute on the clock, and this draw is really doable for DePaul.
Yeah, they might buy themselves another map in this series, but we'll have to see. That's nice, defense matrix usage. You know, there's no flickering there. You just constantly eat all of that damage going through. It means the choke is insurpassable for now. There's the Deadeye to open up the fight from Rachel Knight. It does get mischievous. That's unfortunate here for DePaul as the sound barrier drops. It looks like the hopes of holding this first point are becoming less and less achievable. DePaul has to be routed onto the objective. Watch out, the Lucio player is incredibly low. Rival looking to pick up a couple of final blows. Isn't in time to eat the Blizzard, but is to secure a couple of final blows. Meaningful ones at that. And just like that, William and Mary take that last tick, or that first tick off of DePaul and claim the series.
Yeah, absolutely great play by William and Mary. Nuke Llama, just great play on that Lucio, great play on that main support the entire game, entire series too. But obviously Zeph, great play at the end there on that Reinhardt. Definitely brought it back for DePaul University there. But at the end of it all, William and Mary, just great team play, great coordination. And obviously, of course, I mean, and it has to be stated again, that team play, Rashanet getting that Deadeye sweep, you know, going up with that Maywall, or the Deadeye that, you know, Nuke Llama allowed them to keep for so long. Just absolutely incredible team play from William and Mary. And yeah, it shows in the scoreline. Obviously, DePaul had a substitution. We should clarify that again. This is just, sadly, just one of those games where someone wasn't able to attend. But at the end of it all, you know, William and Mary was able to capitalize.
Yeah, definitely. I think DePaul still played well despite an inherent disadvantage that they were playing into. But I gotta say, at William and Mary, like you mentioned, they're just playing clean Overwatch, and they're rewarded for it. Zohan, we've got plenty of things to say about both these teams, but I want to hear what one of these players has to say about theirs. Coming after a short break, we'll be bringing you an interview from one of the representatives for William and Mary. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. The Overwatch gameplay is over for now, but that doesn't mean the show is done quite yet. We've got more series ahead of you, but before we jump back into the action, let's settle down a little bit with a post-game interview here for us. We have Rival of Team William and Mary University. And Rival, how are you doing after that quick series?
Doing pretty well. Thanks for having me.
Great. My first question coming into this is, how much do y'all play together? It seems that you're really coordinated. It seems you have a lot of set plays that takes a little bit of time. And how much do you practice?
We practice a lot. Definitely a good amount during the week. In preparation for our games and stuff. And then we'll also hit the ranked ladder with each other. Bring some of the domination from EGF. The ranked plebs. So, we play together a great deal.
And it's definitely important to synergize with each other, and easy way to do that is just by fitting as much Overwatch as you possibly can into your already busy student life. But heading forward, there's a lot to prepare for. Closing out the regular season, you guys will be playing up against Marist College for your next matchup. I think that's next week. And without giving away too much, what are some of the plans? How are some of the ways that you guys are preparing for that game?
Well, they have a lot of strong comps, right? So we want to counter with our own strong comps. We're going to be working on, some double shield, some 6-man, really just try and exploit the weaknesses we see and, sort of try and surprise them a little bit. So we're going to be trying some new stuff, over the weekend in the match. And I think that's what I think that'll give us the edge.
Great. Going into this game, what do you feel was your strongest composition? I mean, we personally really liked your Ball Sigma, Ball Diva, but you also looked incredibly strong on that Brawl. So what do you personally feel the most comfortable with?
I mean, me personally, I think our best comp is definitely Halt Hook. You know, Max is definitely like he's a really, really powerful Roadhog. And you know, I used to play a lot of Orisa a bit more before I joined the game, but I'm definitely still keep it sharp. You know, I have a alternate account that's 4-5 on Orisa, so you know, I'm definitely keeping the Orisa skill strong. And I would say definitely Halt Hook, although we didn't show it today, just because you know the maps, it's probably not the best composition for them. But yeah.
It definitely good to have a set hero pool that you can demonstrate depth on. So I very much look forward to the Orisa gameplay. Hopefully, I get to see that, and you know, if I don't get to cast it, then I'll definitely watch the VOD. I love the horse myself.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
she's fun. She's a good tank.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe a little
My personal
power
favorite.
grab, but well. Thank you for joining us here today, Rival. Before you depart from us, do you have any shout-outs that you'd like to make? Anyone behind the scenes helping to pull strings? Or you know, maybe there's a Twitter or a Twitch that we got to follow?
Yeah, I want to say shout out Ratch Knight for that awesome Deadeye 3K, and shout out to Nuke Llama 2 for setting it up with the boop.
Yeah, really good stuff. The team synergy in action. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it in the future. You know, more closer than maybe we're all a little comfortable with. Good luck preparing for your matchup next week, and we'll see you again soon, Rival.
Absolutely, thank you guys.
That was Rival of William and Mary, and you know, that is it for us as well, Zohan. It's been a fun first two series of the afternoon, but like I mentioned earlier, there is still more to come. I unfortunately will be departing from the booth, Zohan, but you will have Waffles casting here on official EGF. So there's definitely a lot more to look forward to. If you guys want to see more of me, then head over to twitter.com. Drop me a follow at Lord Ethan, just like my nameplate says below. You guys can stay up to date with all my casting gigs, and Zohan, I'll let you have the last word here.
Of course, I mean, follow me. Zohan casts, and you'll be seeing me more. So I'm not gonna plug myself too much. You'll be seeing me very shortly. But we do hope you have enjoyed this day.
Absolutely, it's